Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with JK47 and J Dash. Dash, always here. 47, you've been putting in work lately.
Work is what I do, Jim.
Eddie B, sorry we got to it a little bit late. We're going to have it posted hopefully one day before the draft for everybody to listen to.
Yeah, we're lazy. I want to give credit to RG2 for this, our draft expert.
RG2. He needs to come on the show.
He does. He's a busy man.
Quit being lazy with the job and a life and like family and stuff.
And those kids, yeah.
Yeah, jeez. Quit having your life together, man. Jeez. All right, well, let's jump into this real quick because 47's got to sleep. He's about to die, I think. What do we got for the draft? What days is it even, Dash? What are they doing with this 3-day draft? It's in Chicago now. This is ridiculous.
Stupid.
It's like a circus. These kids aren't even going to. Like 20 people have declined their invitation.
Well, Thursday is the first round. Friday's the second round. And third?
Mm-hmm.
And third. So Friday's second and third, and then after that, you round it out 4 through 7.
4 to 7. Saturday starting at noon. Stupid 3-day draft. I liked it better when it was just Saturday and Sunday.
Each team's allowed 30 allotted pre-draft visits, and the Steelers used up most of them already. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Teams are going to use up all of them. Bring in as many guys as they can. Bring in guys twice maybe if they won't really like them.
And one thing Steelers fans will like is it was definitely cornerback heavy.
Yeah. Although I don't think they're going to take one in the first round.
Well, they brought in Marcus Peters. That's the one first-round cornerback they really brought in.
Did they bring in Kevin Johnson?
I don't think they did bring in Kevin Johnson. There was no mention of it that I could find.
Maybe they met with him in secret down at
Well, you can
Blush.
still call players and everything. You just can't meet with them. You can only meet with 30 players.
Had the girls down at the Tilted Kilt meet with him. They brought in Eli Harold for a visit, though, correct?
They did bring him in for a visit.
Did they bring anybody in twice, do you know?
That I do not know.
Then they probably didn't, because it probably would have popped up.
Yeah, I'm guessing they didn't. Most of the guys they usually bring in, though, are between 3rd and 5th round picks. They'll bring in 1st and 2nd round picks, but they try to stay heavy for the later rounds, try to find that steal.
Yeah, hopefully they get a little better in the later rounds. It's been killing us lately. But let's move on. Number 1, we had Eli Harold going to the Steelers in our last mock draft and then our mock draft review that we did, me, you, and 47. I still think the Steelers are going to take a pass rusher. It's probably going to be Eli Harold. We stuck with it because that's what we did with our mock. And most of the other pass rushers most likely will be gone. I know there's a lot of reports now since we've done our last mock and our last review that Shane Ray got in some trouble. People are saying he could drop all the way to the 4th round. No way. Randy Gregory, I don't know, there's some character issues and some mental issues, not like he's mental or crazy, but that he might not be able to mentally handle the rigors of the game.
Well, they did bring Randy Gregory in, so they probably have an idea what they want to do if he fell there.
Yeah. If he's there, I would, I didn't interview him or anything, but on pure talent alone, I would take him.
A couple other guys that are projected to go first round that they brought in are Landon Collins, the safety, and a couple wide receivers, Bashard Perryman and Jalen Strong.
Yeah, Jalen Strong was a weird visit for me. What are we going to take a wide receiver that high for?
See, I think what they're doing is bringing in a couple wide receivers that could possibly fall to the 2nd round, and if they think they're good enough where they can make an impact, that maybe they do pick them in the 2nd round.
Pair up Jalen Strong with AB and Martavis Bryant.
It'd be nice, man. I'd take that.
Better than Wheaton, I guess.
They're not going to draft one in the 1st round, though. They're just hoping one might fall, and then they know something about him before they draft him.
Good point. Well, what would you do, 47? Who did you have him taken? I think Eli Harold, right?
Bud.
Oh, Bud Dupree.
I had him taking Dupree.
You love you some Budweiser.
That's the guy I'd actually like to see land here. I love the guy's physical tools. He's fast, he's big, he's strong. What's there not to like in the pass rusher, especially in the 3-4 defense? I think it'd be outstanding.
The problem is, I believe he will be gone.
I think he will too. I mean, to be honest with you, his stock's actually increased dramatically.
Yeah, he's moved up a lot of people's boards.
I still wouldn't mind seeing Peters, the cornerback, being taken here if he's here. But as you were saying earlier, you don't think the Steelers will draft a cornerback? I don't think so either.
I don't think there's going to be a good enough one left. Marcus Peters, if he's there, they'd have to think about it. But if he's not there, Kevin Johnson's probably not going to be there. Trey Wayne's definitely not going to be there. Really, there isn't another cornerback I'd draft in the first round.
Definitely
I don't think they're going to take Peters with the character issue, depending on how the visit went. But
you know, I heard that if Peters is there, they're not going to take him. But I don't want to believe it yet. Peters is a beast.
Well, we have Eli Harold going here, the outside linebacker from Virginia. We're going to talk about him a little bit. If you've listened to our mocks, you've already heard some about him. This guy's 6'3", 247 pounds. He's got 33-inch arms. In 2014, he was second team All-ACC. He led the team with 14.5 tackles for a loss. In 2013, he started all 12 games at defensive end. He led his team with 15 tackles for a loss and 8.5 sacks. Coming out of high school, he was rated the #1 overall player in Virginia by Rivals.com and the #5 defensive end nationally by Rivals.com. The Steelers love to take defensive ends from college and turn them into linebackers. Your Joey Porters, your Jason Gildens,
Clark Hagen's.
Yeah. Worlds. Wasn't Worlds a D-end, or did he just play D-end on passing downs?
I think he was a D-end, actually.
No, yeah, Woodley, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Woodley was at Michigan, yeah.
Yeah, so the Steelers love it. He rushed with his hand in the ground and standing up some in college. He fires out of his stance pretty quick. He's got a good forward lean. He's a good edge rusher coming around. He doesn't have a whole lot of moves. He's been able to just overpower the tackles coming off the edge, give that little dip in his hips, and kind of slide around them real quick. So he might have to improve a little bit improve with his hand fighting. His waist and his lower body lacks a little bit of mass, so he could probably put on a little bit of weight or maybe just a little bit of strength.
Well, the Steelers need to bring in a linebacker, whether it's first round or second round. I would not wait any longer than that. James Harrison's old. We know that.
Yes.
He's at the end of his career. And then Jarvis Jones could turn out to be a bust.
So far, I would have to call him a potential bust. At
right
least
now,
on the fringe.
Arthur Moats looks like our best linebacker moving forward.
Outside, anyway.
I'd say James Harrison might be the better one going into this season. But I'd say Moats long term.
Yeah, I was happy that we signed Moats. I'm still on the fence about the James Harrison signing. We know you love him, 47. You guys hang out all the time. Breed pit bulls together.
Well, at least I get to wear my James Hitman Harrison t-shirt a little bit more longer. So, yeah, I've always been a Harrison fan. I actually like the signing for right now anyway, because, he didn't play bad last year.
No.
Well, listen, if they draft a linebacker in the first round like we're predicting here, it's either going to be Eli Harold or Randy Gregory, I'd have to believe. I don't think Bud Dupree's going to be there, and they didn't bring in another linebacker projected in the first round.
Yeah, and they're pretty good at guessing who's going to be there. I mean, these guys have been doing it for a long time, not just the Steelers, but all teams' GMs, so they pretty much know. And there's an inside circles where teams kind of know who they're going to take, and they have a general idea, so they know who's going to be there, and if that's the two guys they brought in, those are the two guys they believe that'll have the potential to be there at 22. And the Steelers don't take needs very often, so they're going to take the best player at one of their needs. I'm not saying they're not going to draft a need, but they're not going to reach for linebacker just because they think that's their most important need. If a better corner's there, they may take corner. But
if they value Peters higher, they'll take him. They have multiple needs, and they'll take the best player at whatever need that is.
Well, their number 2 pick is 56 overall. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir.
All right, 56. So RG2's got them taking Eric Rowe, the cornerback / safety out of Utah. He is projected in the second round on NFL.com and CBSSports.com. This guy's 6'1" with 31.5-inch arms. He's 205 pounds. He runs a 4.45 40, 19 bench reps. He's got a 39-inch vertical and a 125-inch broad jump. That's pretty good. The one thing I have to say is I kind of like him better as a safety than a corner. And I'll tell you why, Dash, and then you can tell me that I'm wrong, because I think you will.
Okay.
His strengths, he's tall and he has the long frame, so that helps with corner. He has the ability to disrupt wide receivers off the line of scrimmage. He jams well. He throws his body around. He's a solid tackler. but he's kind of got like a linear body type. He has average play strength. He struggles to carry the deep speed in the NFL and lacks the acceleration. He doesn't have recovery type speed that a corner is going to need if he's getting beat over the top. A little bit of change of direction issues in tight spaces. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. I guess maybe I want to say he gets his hips caught up a little bit, the wrong way, and turns right when he should go left, or maybe looks over the wrong shoulder a little bit. And now these are all things that are going to get a little better as he moves into the NFL and gets coached up, plays with better players, better coaches, better schemes. But I just think his size, 6'1", 205 pounds, that's classic safety size for the Steelers. 4.45 isn't slow at corner, but it's not fast either. That's pretty fast at safety.
Well, it's not that slow at corner, man. When you told me he was slow, I was picturing a different speed. I don't think Peters or Kevin Johnson even ran that fast, did they? I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I believe Peters did.
Trey Waynes definitely ran faster. I thought Peters.
Yeah, Waynes was the fastest.
I thought Peters was like a 4.5 or something.
He might have been.
Yeah.
I mean, 4.45 isn't that slow at all.
It's not really slow. It's not fast.
The most important thing to me is that you got to be able to tackle from the corner spot in the Steelers' defense.
Yeah. Well, he was a 3-year starter and an all-conference pick at free safety. He played there most of the time. He transitioned to corner in 2014 to help the Utes. They lost Keith McGill. He was a 4th-round pick to the Oakland Raiders. I like the versatility, but at the same time, it scares me a little. I don't know if I would call him a project player. I think he's got more talent than that. Somebody like Dree Archer, to me, was a miss at the 3rd round where we took him. He was too much of a project at 3.
Well,
that's
a
the only
real
thing,
project there, yeah.
Yeah, this is the only thing that makes me a little nervous. The versatility is great because we need help at corner. We need help at safety. He's bigger. He's taller. He's got those long arms, so he's going to be able to go up against these big guys. Shamarko's only 5'8". That makes me real nervous, or 5'9" at the tallest. So, you got him. What happens when Rob Gronkowski runs a seam route straight up the middle right at Shamarko, and he's got to try to fight the ball away from him?
Listen, here's the thing. If they go linebacker in the 1st round, fans know they want to go cornerback in the 2nd round. So he's one of the top cornerbacks left. Yeah, he may not be perfect, but it's something that they're going to have to go with. Now, there's that Quentin Rollins from Miami, Ohio, who's also a cornerback / strong safety who could be an option. He was 1st round projection in some mocks earlier in the year before the combine. He's fell off a little bit. He could be a 2nd round option as well, but you're not going to find that elite corner in the 2nd round. I mean, you can hit on corners later, right. But coming into the draft, no one's going to look outstanding to you.
I just think with all his experience at safety, all his accolades came at safety. He had 69 tackles, 9 pass breakups. It started all 13 games. 10 at free safety and 3 at strong safety as a true freshman in 2011. Not too many true freshmen play, let alone make an impact. So that shows that this guy's got the skills. Just which skill set is it? That's all. Is it corner? Is it safety? But, I mean, you bring him in. I'm sure the Steelers know. If they've looked at this guy, I'm sure they know what they want him to play. So, and they need a safety and a corner, quite honestly, if you ask me. So, really, this guy, if you take him at 2, you either got both or you got one or the other.
Yeah, whatever they like him at, we need it. So it's not that terrible either way. Like we said before, they brought in a couple receivers in Perryman and Strong. If they fell this far, they could be possibilities. Now, a couple other 2nd round options they brought in was linebacker Nate Orchard, Sammy Coates they brought in, another wide receiver, and they brought in Preston Smith.
Did they bring... There's a safety I can't even pronounce... Or a linebacker, I'm sorry. I can't pronounce his name. Both his first and last name started with an O. It was like a wiggy.
A wiggy.
Yeah. It was something crazy, man. I don't know
that, dude.
But I seen on a couple mocks, and I don't know how credible these mocks are. Some of these you get on just people throwing anything together. But the Steelers apparently are kind of big on a linebacker with a lot of athletic talent. I was just curious if he came across your research at all.
I did not see a wigga.
All right, no wiggy. Well, let's move on to our 3rd round pick here, somebody we actually know exists. How do you say this name, Dash? Because you'll just make fun of me.
Senquez Golson.
I keep calling him Senchuan. I don't even remember what I keep calling him now.
Cornerback out of
Sasquatch.
Ole Miss. This is another guy that the Steelers brought in. All our first 3 picks here in the first 3 rounds, the Steelers made visits with all 3 of them.
He's projected in the 3rd or 4th round I've seen on NFL.com and CBSSports.com.
Yeah, he could drop to the 4th round too. Eric Rowe, who knows? You could maybe find him in the 3rd round.
Golson's 5'9", 176, 29-inch arms, 9 3/4-inch hands, 4'4", 640, 15 bench reps, 33.5-inch vertical, 120-inch broad jump. In 2014, he was a unanimous first-team All-American and first-team All-SEC selection. He tied the school record for interceptions with 10, was a Bronco Nagurski finalist, made 10 starts in 2013 with 41 tackles. In 2012, played for both the football and baseball teams. Another guy. He was drafted by the Red Sox, I think. Yeah, this guy was drafted in the 8th round of the 2011 Major League Baseball draft by the Boston Red Sox.
If he was drafted by the Pirates, he'd have stayed in baseball.
Well, if he was drafted by the Pirates, he would have become a famous rapper.
He'd be wearing his hat over his ears right now.
He had his best season as a senior cornerback. He led the SEC in interceptions with 10 and passes defended 18. He added 43 tackles and 3 tackles for a loss. He earned first-team All-SEC honors and All-American nods for his 2014 campaign. He's an outstanding competitor. He has, I'd say, above-average ball skills. He's explosive through his lower body. He can mirror in space and close down the passing windows on receivers. The passing windows are tight in today's NFL. Quarterbacks can put it anywhere. So you can have great coverage on a guy, and he'll still catch the pass for a touchdown on you. You got to be able to get your head around and know where the ball is. Ike Taylor was a above-average corner, but you can't call him a great corner because the ball would hit him in the back of the head sometimes because he just had no clue where it was. All he could focus on is where the receiver was.
Schwager.
Golson plays smooth in his hips. He has good balance. He's good against the run. He's willing to stick his shoulder in there and make a tough tackle if he needs to. He tries to seal off the edge. He's a little undersized, though. And sometimes his aggressiveness may be a downfall with a guy his size because he's going to lower his shoulder into somebody like an Adrian Peterson and just knock the crap out.
If they go outside linebacker, corner, or even strong safety corner, however you want to see Rowe, I'd be happy with that. That's what I want to see them bring in, outside linebackers and cornerbacks right now.
Linebackers and cornerbacks.
Need them. Some other corners they brought in are Alex Carter. Like we said, Marcus Peters. He's not going to be around at this point. Darryl Roberts, Bryce Callahan, and Steve Nelson. They also brought in Ohio State's Doran Grant, along with Eric Rowe, as we mentioned before. So there's a lot of corners they're looking at. It's all about who they like most. I sort of like this Golson guy, though.
A couple other things he needs to work on. He has a bad habit of freelancing and zone coverage. The Steelers play a lot of zone coverage. His small size gives him a little bit of a limited tackle radius. He's been accused in the past of not having dedication to honing his craft, just kind of relying on being athletic and kind of being nonchalant about it. And he also says baseball is his first love and always vowed to return to the game. So are you willing to take a 3rd-round pick on a guy who may skip out on you if he struggles after the first year?
Well, you can play both. I want a guy that plays both.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to play both. He just wants to play baseball, it seems like. This is just what I've read and heard from some.
He can play baseball when he's 30 and you're too old to play football.
But if he's not dedicated to honing his craft already, and then he struggles coming in and gets criticized, he's just, people are afraid he's going to run with his tail between his legs to baseball.
Yeah, there's definitely questions.
So
questions about everyone,
in
man.
3rd round, that's a little scary. That's somebody you want to try to take 4 or 5.
That small frame concerns me. 5'9", 176, that's awfully light.
I mean, you can
yeah,
put
he'll
on
have
weight.
to put on weight. The weight's not the big issue. 5'9", it's a little short.
3 of his 4 touchdowns allowed came against receivers 6'4" or taller last season.
Yeah, so he doesn't...
He struggles on the outside. He's more of a slot corner.
Yeah, you're not looking for your number 1 corner in the 3rd round, so you're not going to be putting him up against the number 1 wide receiver for the other team.
Unless you're swagging you coming out the 4th round.
I mean, he could turn into it. I like the taller corners myself. Like Eric Rowe, 6'1", I like that type of corner.
Yeah.
But they're also not the fastest corners sometimes either.
Right. What about our 4th round pick? Who do we have, Dash?
We have Lyndon Trill, outside linebacker out of Norfolk State. He actually started with Florida, but then when Urban Meyer left, he left with him and went to Norfolk State. I could really see any of our 4th, 5th, or 6th round picks going in any order. It's really hard to tell at this time where they're going to go. I could see all three of these guys going to the Steelers, but maybe in a different order.
Kind of sounds like it could be like a journey out west. Linden Trail.
I have some relatives with the last name Trail. I wonder if he's related to me. Well, this guy's 6'7", 269 pounds. How do you play the linebacker position at 6'7" in the NFL?
Who's that? Agilus. It was that Agilus Thomas from
Adalius Thomas.
Adalius Thomas.
Agilus.
34-inch arms, almost 35 inches, 10.5-inch hands. This guy's like the size of J.J. Watt. He should be playing D-end. This is crazy.
Now, this is a guy the Steelers did not bring in for a visit, but they did make multiple phone calls to him over the past couple weeks.
He played mostly linebacker in Norfolk State's 3-4 base scheme, so I guess he can do it. It just scares me. Do you have the hips and the flexibility to move around at 6'7", 270? But I guess if you do, then you're a freak athlete, dude, and you're just going to be destroying people,
one of his
right?
skills are his impressive movement for his body type. He's flexible athlete with smooth change of direction skills and long strides. Accelerates quickly.
He has a long athletic frame. He's used as a 3-4 outside linebacker. He's also very explosive off the snap.
I don't know. How do you make yourself smaller when you're 6'7", but when you're that big, it's easier for those big mammoth tackles to get their hands on you, kind of hold you. It's harder for the refs to see it. He's a drag down tackler. Doesn't have a lot of whole lot of punishing hits on tape, so he's not going to destroy you. Takes too much of a wide angle to the quarterback sometimes as a rusher. You need to maybe fake outside and just kind of bull rush your way inside. A lot of hand fighting. He gets beat on. He needs to improve those in his pass rush moves. So he's still a raw product, but in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, where you're going to be, you're always a raw product.
I actually seen an article saying this guy is going to be a 3rd-day steal.
Steal a day 3.
His freaking hands are 10.5 inches.
Beast, dude.
He only ran a 4.91 at the combine, but on his pro day, he did pick it up a little bit and ran a 4.86. So he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's just a monster. 38 tackles for a loss, 18.5 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries, 2 picks, and 229 total tackles in 3 years at Norfolk State. That's production. And I like to see it on tape more than I like to see something at the combine.
He's ranked as the number 14 senior defensive end prospect for the draft by NFLDraftScout.com.
So, yeah, he can play defensive end, too.
So many defensive ends transition to outside linebacker.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
So.
But he's pretty big, so.
Yeah, I just think at 269 pounds, he's definitely going to get put on more weight once he starts playing. So, I mean, you're probably going to be looking at around 280, 285-ish. I'm thinking once he gets done putting all that muscle on.
There aren't a whole lot of 6'7" guys in the league. Calais Campbell, is that how you say his first name? He played for Arizona. There's another guy coming
The
in.
linemen are 6'7".
I think Gronkowski's that tall.
There's still not even a whole lot of 6'7" linemen. I heard him talking to Eric Armstead. He was doing an interview for the draft, and there's just really not too many of them in the league right now.
Well, speaking of guys that are 6'7" that are going to be in the league, our number 5 guy here, Jesse James, tight end out of Penn State. He is also 6'7". This guy is someone that the Steelers love. They are all over this guy. This is who they want their tight end to be. Now, are they going to have to take him in the 4th round, or can they take him here, or can they wait another round? That's the question.
Well, they just need to go to the jail in the Old West to find Jesse James, right?
I was just thinking the same thing. I wonder if he's going to bring his guns from the OK Corral.
Well, this is a local guy. He is from South Allegheny High School. Went to Penn State, so he's played his football career in the state of Pennsylvania. Why not keep it in state?
Hey, if he's good, I'm all about it.
He set a school record by a tight end with 11 career touchdown receptions. He had 78 career receptions for 1,005 yards. He's compared to a Scott Chandler, who isn't a bad tight end for the Buffalo Bills. And if you get Scott Chandler type tight end in the 5th round, I'd take that. But 6'7", this guy's huge.
Well, hopefully Heath will teach him a couple of things.
He has room to grow more muscle, flash some straight line speed in space. He's not content to stand in space. So that's big for Big Ben. He's a type of tight end that he never stops moving. When the play breaks down, he keeps moving to find the open spot. That's exactly what the Steelers need out of their tight end, because that's what Big Ben does. He extends the play, and when he does that, this is the type of guy that's going to keep trying to find open space so he can get the ball to him.
Yeah, everybody knows Ben loves when a play breaks down. He just likes to move around, find space, and hit the guy that's open. And if this guy can find those soft zones, if he's smart enough to move at the same rate that Ben's moving or move in the same direction that Ben's moving, he'll have a big career. Heath does that a lot. Or you see Heath just run that straight up the middle and snap his head around real quick, and Ben just hits him with the pass. I mean, if this guy can just get the ball in his hands, he's beast. He'll run through people.
Obviously, at 6'7", he can go up over smaller defenders in the red zone. He can play a little bit of split end, and he has good enough speed to present a deep threat downfield as well. So this guy has a lot of good qualities about him, but he also has bad qualities as well.
He's a little sluggish off the release. His routes are a little mechanical. He's not real fluid in them. It's almost exactly what it is. You kind of can maybe just see him like concentrating on him too hard, not being in the flow of the game. His play demeanor lacks a little bit of fire. He needs to get a little meaner. Run up, hit somebody in the mouth, especially in the run game. He's not a great run blocker.
That's his one downside.
He got them all in the Steelers' offense.
He needs to be a better run blocker.
He doesn't handle power and movement in space as well as he could at his size. Needs to be a better blocker, just like we said, and he gets hung up at the line of scrimmage a lot with jams. So his physicality, that can be brought out by the coaches. It can be taught. So at a fifth-round pick, this guy seems, I don't want to call him a steal, but he seems like a good fit for what the Steelers are looking for.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you see them take him in the 4th round if he's still there.
Yeah, James Harrison will take care of the mean issue.
A couple other tight ends they brought in are Cameron Clear, C.J. Uzuma, Jeff Howerman, and Kennard Backman. Now, these are all guys that are later round picks, so if they don't get Jesse James, maybe you see them take one of those guys in the 6th or 7th round. Another 6'7" guy here.
All day with these 6'7" guys. You're just taking them all. RG2 loves tall dudes.
Please believe. Rob Havenstein.
Is he know we're doing this for the NFL, not the NBA? Did he get confused maybe halfway through?
Well, that's like a guard. This guy's 321 pounds,
That'd be
offensive
awesome.
tackle out of Wisconsin. Now, he had a bad combine. He only put up 16 bench reps.
Dude,
And
I can do more than 16.
really,
bench
he didn't
reps.
do much else, but everything I'm hearing about this guy is he's going to be a steal in his draft because of his bad combine. He had a better pro day. He put up 20 bench reps, so he did get a little better there as well. He has 33 3/4 inch arms, 9 3/4 inch hands. He was named an All-American and had an impressive Senior Bowl. He tied the school record with 54 games played, including starting 41 consecutively at right tackle to end his career. So he's the type of guy that you can count on to be in your lineup each and every week.
Well, it's definitely a major plus for an offensive lineman because you get the crap beat out of you.
I just like the 6'7", 321-pound frame. Awesome.
Yeah,
It's
it's
huge.
monstrous.
Now, I hear some people say his height limits him to right tackle. I don't understand why they would think his height limits him to the right side. There's a lot of good, big, tall tackles. Max Starks was like 6'8". He played great for the Steelers.
We're talking
for a
about
while.
how there's only 2 or 3 dudes who are 6'7". Now we're bringing out all these dudes who are 6'8".
Well, Max Starks wasn't 6'7". He was 6'8".
Get out of here with that.
But our right tackle is Gilbert right now, and he's garbage. I know the line
He's not
played
garbage.
well, but I don't know. Gilbert was a second-round pick. Adams is a backup, was a second-round pick. Beecham, I think, was a 6th or 7th-round pick, and he's starting. I don't have a lot of faith in our tackles, and I'm on record in one of our other segments, I don't remember which one, of saying that the Steelers could use some help at tackle or at least some depth. So I like this pick. I like this guy. He's big, he's strong, he's durable, he gets it in the run game. Pass blocking will come. That's something that you can learn. With Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, you want a big, strong mauler.
Keeping Ben standing will be a priority as well.
Yeah, especially as he gets a little older.
Obviously, at 6'7", he has a little bit of struggle with his leverage and pass protection. He'd need to work on that a little bit.
Keep him knees bent, big man.
Yeah, he plays a little bit too tall. He lacks elite lateral quickness, but when he locks on, he doesn't let go.
Got them big-ass hands.
Please
Grabs
believe.
you by the face, throws you to the ground.
So what is he? Jack Lambert is a offensive lineman.
Yeah, I'll kick you in the nads and then punch you in the face. Are you afraid of his limitations as a pass blocker, Dash, or you think he can get past that?
Well, I mean, all these young guys that you never really know, and especially in the 6th round, you're going to have to take a chance on something. Everybody in the 6th round has their problems. You just got to weigh the options. Is it something you can work on, or is it not worth the risk?
Well, as a former quarterback, did you want a lineman that could pass block or run block? Pass block, right?
As a quarterback?
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't run the ball or pass the ball, so I'd have taken either one.
You had to just call hut and throw the ball up in the air and run under it yourself.
Pretty much. Team is garbage. The Steelers also have another 6th round pick, the compensatory pick.
Who we got here? RG2 likes Matt Jones, the running back from Florida.
He's 6'7". No.
He's 6'10", 338 pounds. This guy's 6'2", 231 pounds. A little bit slow in the 40 at 4.61, but he's a big guy, not a speed guy. 112-inch broad jump, 20 bench reps. That's nice to see from a big, tough running back. 31.5-inch vertical. He rushed for 817 yards and 6 touchdowns at Florida last season as a junior. He's getting some comparison to the law firm Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. He's a late-round, third-down back. He has a good knack for moving the chains in the short yardage. He knows how to just kind of go forward. And that art is lost on a lot of running backs today. They want to go outside. They want to dance. They want to spin. They like yoga. Look at Rashard Mendenhall. I don't know what the hell he was doing in the backfield half the time, plieing back there or something. But he was always getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. The Steelers, for their second back, and I know they got D'Angelo Williams for now, but this guy will, maybe be able to move up and step in year 2, year 3. Just go straight, young blood. Move up.
Well, yeah.
Move them chains.
Listen, this is the type of running back I want in the Steelers system.
Yes.
That's why I like LeGarrette Blount. I want a guy that runs straight ahead, pounds on the defense, makes them tired, and then you see Le'Veon Bell run 98 yards for a touchdown on the next play.
Yeah.
This is a guy that Mike Tomlin actually sat down and had dinner with the day before his pro day. So there's a lot of teams out there looking at this guy. The fact that Tomlin sat down and had dinner the day before his pro day means that I think it means they're pretty interested in bringing him here.
This guy keeps his shoulders square to the line for his maximum power. Great forward lean. He was used sparingly as a pass catcher. And I know Le'Veon is a 3-down back in the Steelers system, but they would like to have somebody to spell him on third down if they could, that could just block for Ben back there, help keep him upright. And he has the size at 6'2", 231 to take on the bigger linebackers or maybe some of the DNs that get around the corner.
But listen, to me, it's all about you got an elite running back, you got another little fast running back in D'Angelo Williams, and then you bring in the big bruiser.
That's it. And then you can cut Dre Archer, right?
No, you put him in the slot.
Keep him there.
Yeah, Wheaton's your number 4 wide receiver.
Archer scares me when he's on the field at all. I just think the guy's either going to drop the football or break in half.
I just really think he's the only true slot receiver on our team.
Who do we have coming in at number 7?
7th round. What pick is this? Number 239.
Getting close to Mr. What do they call him? Mr.
Irrelevant.
Poor bastard.
At least he got drafted.
Yeah, please believe. I'd actually rather not get drafted, though, at that point, so you have your choice of which teams you want to go try out for.
Right.
But our 7th round pick, Ray Drew, defensive end out of Georgia. 6'4", 265 pounds.
Not even very tall at all. He's short. He's like a midget.
He did not attend the combine, but his NFL Pro Day results, he ran a 4.83 40. His vertical was 32.5 inches, and his bench reps was 18.
That's kind of crappy for a DN. 18. I want to see like 58.
Well, actually, some of these linemen only got up around 18 to 20, man. It's 225 pounds.
I can bench 100 pounds 20 times. They should be able to bench 225.
I can bench the bar.
Bars are heavy. They're like 15 pounds.
They're 40 pounds.
Not mine.
Not your cheap ass.
Yeah. Metal pipe that I just put wet sand weights on. Drew quietly emerged as one of the SEC's better and more versatile defenders in 2014. He had 39 tackles, 1.5 tackles for a loss, and only 1 sack, though. So his stats aren't exactly there, but sometimes defensive linemen, especially in a 3-4 system, the stats aren't there. You're eating up blockers. Your technique is good. Your gap's sound. You're going where you're supposed to. Sometimes you're not supposed to get upfield as a defensive end in our system. If you do, you allow the running back a cutback hole, and then Fred Taylor gashes us for 240 yards or something.
Well, that's Drew to a T, man. He keeps blockers off the linebackers so they can make the play. That's exactly what this guy does.
He's Aaron Smith, and we've been missing somebody like that. 47, you loved Aaron Smith.
He was one of my favorite Steelers.
You painted his face on the hood of your first car, didn't you?
No, that would have been a little bit excessive.
But listen, even though he's listed as a DN, he can actually become a D tackle. He just needs to put on some more weight, and they believe he can play the D tackle position and take on some blockers to free up for the middle linebackers.
Wouldn't it be great if McCullers came through and played great this year?
Or McClendon. I don't care which one.
McClendon's garbage. He's not going to come through.
One of them has to.
I think Hayward and two, it'll be solid. You don't have anything to worry about with them.
Drew has good initial quickness off the ball. He does show a little burst upfield, I guess, if they need him on passing downs to try to push the quarterback a little bit. He's a powerful bull rusher, not a lot of moves, but, like you said, Dash, he's more of a 3 technique and 5 technique guy. He eats up the blockers. He creates space. He's that just blue-collar, I'm coming to work every day with a metal lunchbox and a thermos, and I'm going to do my job type guy.
He just needs to put on some serious weight, really.
265 is not enough weight to play defensive end if you're not a pass rusher. But it's not.
Or
that
he
hard.
needs to shed weight and become one.
Maybe.
He could go either way with it, really. But I really think
just put on 30 pounds and dominate.
The best thing for him is to put on the weight.
It's not going to be that hard. They'll put him with a nutritionalist. They'll get him doing the opposite of the plastic sweatsuit and running around a hot shower spitting the whole time.
And we're talking 7th round here, so if they can get a guy that if all he needs to do is put on 30 pounds to become an impact player, that would be huge.
Yeah. Bulk up. How'd you do at 47? You're ripped.
Work.
Lots of work. It's a great way to stay in shape.
That it is.
Well, that's it. That's all we got. There ain't no more. Steelers 7th round. Eddie B, you should be happy. Special thanks to RG2. Special thanks
Don't
to
tell
RG2.
Eddie B what to do.
Eddie
he
B
can
loves
be
it.
mad. He can be whatever he
Eddie
wants.
B's going to be super happy. He's going to hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. He's going to hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. He's going to throw a shout out to RG2 for being a nice guy and doing this, even though he has a job and kids and has you as a brother. I mean, that's got to be hard enough on the poor guy. I want to thank you guys for coming in studio. Thank you, fans, for listening. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter. Hit us up on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Thank you guys for listening. Let's get this draft going.